Welcome back, I'm Dr. Ruckus, and today versus CovertGoBlue and other randos, we're playing 5-color Alara built specifically for best of 1 standard. That's right, you can't just net deck it, you gotta improve it a little bit to even be semi-competitive. I'll get to what's different, but first off, for those who don't know the combo real quick, you slam Alara on 5, then you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile 2 non-land cards with mana value 4 or less. The way the deck is constructed, the only cards that are 4 or less are Bramble Familiar and Go for the Throat, so you get 1 to 2 Familiars and maybe a Go for the Throat, and then you cast this for free, the 7 mana Adventure side, to mill 7 cards, put a creature, enchantment, or land onto the battlefield for free, which means you're either getting for free a Whale, a Virtue of Persistence, a Flesh Scourger, or a Desecrator, or a Traxa. That alone is enough, but of course, if you get the Desecrator, and you can exile a 7 mana milled card out of the graveyard, you can then remove 7 counters from the Invasion of Alara, flip it, and go bananas. So that's the combo. Some cards that I am not including in the deck include number 1, Luca, Bound to Ruin, because I cannot imagine a worse fate than slamming this on 4, losing 2 life, and then against mono red or mono white, just getting absolutely obliterated the next turn. Too slow, can't run it. Only if you want to die and lose against the vast majority of the meta. The other card I'm not running is Alara. Yeah, this card is great and fun and awesome, but man, you just gotta survive early. So what's coming in place? Well, number 1, we have an extra Flesh Scourger. The original deck only has 3 of these, up this up to 4, a very decent playable on turn 3. Has lifelink. If it's not immediately removed, you know, can block, stall the opponent, swing in for lifelink, has menace, you can attack down the Alara maybe, and of course, doesn't die to Go for the Throat. So up in that quantity to do something on 3, and then more importantly, the biggest addition is the Hornlocked Whale. Another thing you can do on 2 to slow down the opponent, and of course doubles as a 6 mana, 6/6 ward to win con. Those are the key changes to the deck. Yeah, that's all. If you want to support the channel, just watch the whole video to the end. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. On the play, yeah, this looks okay. Against CovertGoBlue. Candy Trail, okay. Scry 2. To the top. Spooky, as always. Well, we don't have a whole lot to do here. And more land would be great. Do nothing. Don't love to see that. Could save a binding here. We don't even have a Flesh Scourger to play. Okay, well, if he likes counter spells, he's probably gonna have a lot of them. If you want to play around Make Spear, we can give it one more land. We're not gonna be able to slam Invasion of Alara. Okay, gain life, draw a card. Field of Ruin, that's actually okay. It's not a land. This could be a turn to flash in the Emperor. We can always binding it though. So we'll continue to end here. Yeah, there's the Emperor. And they can do whatever they want in response, but we'll go ahead and take this guy out. Samurai it is. 2 to the face. We hit the next land, which is nice. It's okay to Virtue this turn. Okay, creature down. It doesn't necessarily know we're the Alara deck, but doesn't matter. He still probably knows that he's gonna want to hold counter spells. And we'll take the Emperor again here, I guess. To the face. Okay, we're holding Alara to the last possible moment for sure. Can either go Flesh Scourger or the Virtue here. We don't care if the Flesh Scourger dies, because we can theoretically get it back with Virtues late game. I'd say Virtue is more important to resolve, actually. So let's begin here. And if we don't want to get Make Spear, we could wait one more turn. We can. But we have to get through the counters at some point anyway. think we'll give it one more turn. We don't know what Candy Trail's for. Another Emperor. Nice. Alright. Well, I don't have the binding this time. Lots of samurais. To the face. Okay. More land for us. That gets us to 7 for the virtues. Think you just try the baby Flesh Scourger here. Resolves. It's the 7th land. First strike. Can't block that very well. No blocks. So the next Flesh Scourger. We need to get through counter spells somehow. I mean, we can start running out Virtue of Persistences. We could also resolve more Flesh Scourgers. At some point, there'll be Sunfall as well, though, which is gonna be awkward. I mean, we need to counter the Virtues at some point. We give him the Big Daddy Flesh Scourger too. Okay, double block. He wants to counter the Virtue here. We need to run him out of counters. We need the counters. We need the counters gone. We need to start seeing Make Disappears. They got to get out of the hand. There's the first one. We got more to go. They're in the graveyard, which is nice, but he's got to counter the next 2 turns of Virtue. Whale's interesting, but I think you just keep slamming these until he runs out of counters, and then you slam Alara. That's the plan. Could also run Farewell, which would exile all the enchantments. That's okay. 2 counters down. Getting low, down to 11. Not dead yet. This could be a double whale turn as well. Slows things down a little bit, but also gives him time to draw into more counters. Plus will be nice. Another samurai. Okay. Whale number 1. Whale number 2. Another Flesh Scourger. I think you run out the whale. On their turn, you know, uses a little bit of their mana, but it's not even that much. They don't have to respond. We're gonna do it now. Because I'd rather it come in untapped, which forces them to interact with it. Do nothing. Okay. That means they have the next Emperor. We've seen 3 Emperors. Probably has the 4th one. Herd Migration is a win con. It's a good one. We want to keep playing out whales here, I think. Attacking is only so useful. And we're getting low on life. We don't have to attack here, though. We can just sit back a little bit. Could flash in another whale on their turn. At some point they Sunfall, right? There's the next Emperor, yep. And we can flash in the whale now. Doesn't play around Sunfall. Let's see what they do. Okay, if they make a creature, they're probably not going to Sunfall. So we'll play another whale here. Disruption Protocol. Untapped artifact you control. We haven't seen any artifacts, though. Candy Trail is the artifact for the counterspell, I guess. 1 top, 1 bottom. Land is okay. We don't necessarily need it, though. We don't really want to get too low. Let's see if we can get the next Virtue down. Maybe the Flesh Scourger's better, actually. Okay, there's the second counterspell. They only have 3 cards left in hand. We can play out 1 more land here. Do need to keep our life total high, though, so we can't really get too aggressive. But everything in the deck is basically a banger from here on out. First Strike Vigilance. Could be Elspeth Smite. So we'll double block here. Yep, there it is. So they can clear out one of these. They would need 2 more Elspeth Smite to get through the next one, which I don't think they'll have. Candy Trail again. 5 men open, 3 cards in hand. 2 to the top is scary. We'll see what we can resolve this turn. It's another Virtue. Alright, I mean, we can go for one of these Virtues finally. I still think he probably runs Farewell, right? Desecrator's interesting. But let's try Virtue. Nope, still at 11. Sack the Candy Trail, draw a card. More Samurais. Do nothing. We get back a Flesh Gorger. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Alright, I don't think we have to do anything for the rest of the game. I think we sit here and attack, ultimately. Get things back with Virtue every turn, wait for the Farewell, and then start redeploying the board after that. Attacking here isn't great. Puts us very close to lethal in the Crackback. Could even channel the Herd Migration if we need to. Deluge. Alright, so I can go get the Farewell here. Deluge again. Alright. Down to 33. We don't know if they play the Jace WinCon. Minus the Emperor. Interesting. So that's all 4, right? All 4 Emperors are gone. There's Farewell. Yup. This is our biggest tap-out opportunity. So they get back the Emperor. Artifacts takes our creature. Let's see if they can just find lethal this turn. No, not yet. It's getting close, though. So that's 6. Getting the land doesn't allow us to double spell here. We have creatures in the graveyard, though. Invasion gets through, Make to Spear, so we'll go for it here. Okay, so we can pay 4, and we're really tapped out. Then they play the second Make Disappear. But even if we don't pay this and we Virtue of Persistence, they could still play the second Make Disappear? They must have 2 counters. That's the only way this is possible, right? Unless he just wants us to force us to use the mana. It could be the second Make Disappear. It's probably the second Make Disappear, right? We could still live off the Virtue. I mean, it could be spooking us, but we still have good win cons left in the deck. I think we just lose here if he's not bluffing. We'll try a Virtue next, see if they have the next Make Disappear. We can always Herd Migrate to get more land and more life. Okay, that resolves. So we're live another turn. We can always migrate to get the last little bit of life. We can try Bramble Familiar next turn. How many Make Spears have we seen? 2 Make Spears, 2 Disruption Protocols. That's a lot of counterspells. Currently take 4. Down to 3. Do you need the life? Kind of. He gives up a pretty good win con. Question is how many... I don't think he can have more of these baby counterspells left. There's one more to make Spear in there, right? We have a lot of win cons. We kind of need more time. Okay, we could cycle that. Could play a Desecrator here. Clear out the Emperor finally. They counter that, we still live. Could always play out the Familiar as a blocker, I suppose. So we have 4 mana open. Okay. It's countered. Do we need the blocker? They kill this, they swing for 6. That is lethal. We might need the freaking blocker here. It's very painful. It's extremely painful. How many of these can he run? That's a lot of cheap counter spells. Deluge, go get the answer. I'll tell you, big expensive spells don't play super well against cheap counters. So maybe 2 Make Disappears, 4 Disruption Protocols as a 3 mana counter. That's sometimes a little bit, cheaper if you have the Candy Trail. So this is the next Elspeth Smite. So if you block here, you actually keep it alive. Take 5. No more Emperors left. This now requires double Elspeth Smite to get through the whale. Knockout Blow. That card has never been played before. 4 damage target attacking or blocking creature, you gain 2 life. Okay. Land is not Alara. You bounce and go for the last counterspell, but it's probably game. Virtue's too slow. Okay. Last turn of the game. Discard you. And that's it. Let's see the last Disruption Protocol. There's going to be one more, I think. It's Make Disappear. 3 Make Disappears, maybe 4 Make Disappears, 4 Disruption Protocols. That's game. Yep. Big spells into cheap counters. On the play, this is a keepable hand. We can get there. Alright, let's begin. Hujatareji. Well, that opens up the binding, I think. Try not to hold too much stick. See if they give us the adventure creature. Misery Shadow, we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. We're just trying to slow things down. And we can migrate this turn. So we're really well set up this game. What do we need? You're black. You're definitely black. You can be blue. That's okay.
Nobody knows Dominario's shadows.
We could binding you, but we can migrate first, I suppose. What do we need? I think we're pretty good in general. More black doesn't hurt. I think that's okay to get. Or more green is also fine.
Drop it.
We no longer need... I guess migration's as good as a land this turn, isn't it? So we can bend the basic here, actually. We do want to binding you. And we do want to play the land, and we do want to herd migrate into the last land. If they played another Liliana, we would drop off Virtue Persistence. Shelly, okay. That's fine. I mean, more green's good, I guess. That's probably the next most useful color. I think we should be good, right? Please double check. Blue, black, red. Ah. Blue, black, green, red? Maybe we take planes here, just to be safe. I know this will work. All right, down to 24. Here we come. Give me something good. Familiar. Adventure half. All right, let's do the thing. Give me someone juicy. Flesh Gorger. Not that juicy. Does not die to go for the throw. They might have almost zero answers unless they can both Virtue plus cut down this turn. Otherwise, you do get a Menace attack. And we're close to hard casting the next Familiar or just a Virtue. Sentinel. Okay, so they can double block this thing. Exiling my graveyard is not my favorite thing to see. Don't love that. 39 cards left in deck. We do draw here. It's not removal, so we can't just cheese through our way to Alara. I still maintain they have no way to deal with the Flesh Gorger. So we can just play a land tapped here. And wait. And Bramble Familiar next turn for 7. No attacks. Okay. Usiju, get back Liliana. Alright, so we can sack the Virtue. Take the action.
You're telling me what you know about the Raven Man.
Oh, we can get anything, can we? I think we don't have a Rafine in here. Let's get a Rafine's Tower. Well, now we no longer need land. Ah, sack a creature, swing for 7. Okay. Down to 15, soon to be 13. We get to Bramble Familiar here, though. Could double Sheldred, but I don't think there's time for that. I think it's just you for 7. Give me the next goodie. It's another Flesh Gorger, I think. Virtue's okay, because it gets back Flesh Gorgers every turn. Do we just die, though? We don't necessarily die. It's a pretty good one to have. We could have just cast it from the hand anyway. You can just take the Flesh Gorger here. You can always cast Virtue next turn. They're basically the same thing, except this is a turn faster. Alright. Not amazing. We can leave the land to discard to Liliana. And we're in a very similar position. Leave the land. Okay, exile the graveyard again. A surprisingly useful card against us. This is not typical for Golgari. You don't really need to run this card. Alright, graveyard gone again. We'll discard the land. We could kill Shelly this turn with double Virtue, and then play one back next turn. Which is kind of what we have to do, otherwise we're going to lose very soon anyway. Yeah. Pretty sure we want to do this. If we attack with the Flesh Gorger, we guarantee they lose one of these things. And they can sit there and Liliana plus. I think that's probably better. So let's threaten this. Double block. We now have a lot of life to play with. We're at 22, which buys us time. Play the land so Liliana can't plus it away. And they get to tick their Liliana up. But we get to Virtue next turn. Sheldred returns, the clock continues. Yeah, they discard Go for the Throat because they know it's not really useful. Though they might regret that if we hit an Atraxa. The next invasion. Yeah, I think you run that out. It's a familiar. Let's try again. There's an Atraxa in there. I saw that one. Desecrator also flips it immediately, though. How many cards do we have left? 19? I think the Desecrator is pretty good here. Want to exile a big boy. I guess it's the herd migration is fine for 7. I don't know if it flips if it dies. How does that work? When the last counter is removed, exile it, then cast it transformed? I don't know. I suspect we can get more value if we remove the original, but I don't know. I'll draw 2 cards. Liliana could go, or Sheldra could go. Maybe it's Liliana here. Okay.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Alright, now we run out the other one, I think. 7. We like the Flesh Gorger, but this does clear it out immediately. I think we chose correctly. If you play the... I'll draw 2 more cards, that we're getting low. Destroy you. Yeah, -4 seems fine. Take a Shelly here if I can select it. -X. Alright, we did the thing. We have 15 cards left, so we're okay on that front. We can play out a creature here, I suppose. And that's all for the turn. Cool, yeah, I'm not sure what happens if you play the second legendary. They scoop. If you play the second legendary and the first legendary battle dies, I want to say you don't get the trigger, but I don't actually know. I'll have to look that up. Want to play with 2 removal spells. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, Leyline Binding isn't even that cheap, though. With double Rafine's Tower. Good Virtue on 2. Yeah, it's pretty sus. I don't know. So now this is down to 3 mana. So we can Virtue on 2, Binding on 3. Officer. Yeah, okay. I think that plan is okay with me. See if Thalia comes down to ruin the fun soon. Gamliel, son of Father Riel. Double Initiate, alright. Okay, well, if you want a Binding this turn, then we could play the we can play out the Ridge. I don't know if we want to though. Let's see if we can nab an Adeline. Invasion of Gobakhan. Okay, well, we'll definitely cast this now then. Because it ain't getting any better. And luckily we don't have anything really useful in hand for them to take. That's the benefit of having a useless hand. It's impervious to invasions of Gobakhan. Alright, to get after it. Down to 2. Hey, that's a great card. I don't know if we can cast it that soon, though. Let's get this guy in there. Doing a whole lot of nothing. Hope they don't hit the next Gobakhan. Land. Okay, they're spending their entire turn attacking the Gobakhan. Which is fine by me. They go face, they're confident we don't have removal. It's pretty cocky. Maybe they don't value taking the Gobakhan though. So Hexproof and Indestructible is what they got now. We're trying to go over the top here. What colors do we need? I think we got it all, right? We got blue. We got blue, white. Blue, white, black, green. I think we get there. There we go. Easy. Auto pay. Alright, show me the money. We got the familiar, we'll take that. Let's cast the Mill 7 side. For free. Okay, no Desecrator. So I guess you run back the next familiar. We're putting it onto the battlefield. What a whiff. What a majestic whiff. Okay. Well, that was a little underwhelming. Nice. Cool. At least we gotta go for the throat out of the deal. We could Virtue soon. That is another thing we could do. The initiate can remove counters to kill something. Okay. If we hit the untapped land, we can desecrate the Alara as well. Down to 15. Alright, give me an untapped land. Nope. Nope, nope. Land for turn. You can play out a blocker here, which is fine. We're just trying to get to the Cemetery Desecrator, really. We can go for throw this guy. They'll give it hexproof and indestructible, but that's just kind of how it is. Doesn't matter if we do it. I guess if they want to power up the Mishra's Foundry, we could do it. I don't know if we want to block with Familiar, though. Seems like it could be more useful on our side of the battlefield. Thalia. Okay, they're going to use the hexproof indestructible regardless, so let's get it out now, I suppose. Yep, there you go. It's okay. Question is, do we block? I feel like mana is going to be more useful. Or even saving the Familiar to bounce back to the hand. 8. I think I'm going to take 8 here. Let's run out the Desecrator. Who's down here? Yeah, Herd Migration at least. Yeah, no blocks. We'll take 8. I'm not afraid. Down to 6. There's an untapped land. Cool. We don't have cut downs, so I don't think it matters if we hold open a specific color. I guess if you hit another Leyline Binding somehow. Let's start here. Let's exile the Herd Migration for 7. They scoop off of that. We don't even get to do the thing. Alright, what are we now? Plat 2, here we come. Alright, thank you for staying to the end. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.